Hi friends, and welcome back to Granite Garden Cottage. In today's video, I am doing a very simple, relaxed, low-key project, which is unusual for me, as you may know. I am going to be making a healing salve for my family. It is fall time now, and our skin is getting dry and rashy, and we have very sensitive, fair skin in our home, or in our household, I should say. So these balms are very helpful for restoring our skin's hydration and providing the nutrients necessary to heal quickly and effectively. So in the summertime, we get lots of vitamin D, we get lots of fresh air on our skin, and in the winter, it's just kind of dry and a little bit miserable. We're definitely not getting as much sunlight, and our skin suffers for that. So I decided it was time to make this healing salve, and it's really good for a variety of needs. So minor cuts, scrapes, burns, rashes, dry skin, really can be very versatile and used for a lot of things. So I'm going to show you the herbs that I'm using today. In today's video, I'm infusing a sitz bath that I had created for myself for when I had my baby, and I ended up having an unexpected C-section, so I ended up not actually using this as a sitz bath, and it's just sat here ever since. These are all very healing herbs that I decided to use in this blend, so I'm actually just going to infuse this into some oil. I've actually been doing that the last 12 plus hours, probably close to like 14 hours now. This has been on a very, very, very low heat on the stove, and it's just been infusing the herbs with a mixture of coconut, avocado, and olive oil. The herbs that I am using today are primarily calendula, arnica, spearmint, and St. John's wort. And then there's a small amount of lavender, lemon balm, licorice root, and peppermint leaf in here as well. So that is what I have going on the stove with that oil blend. It's been infusing, and I'm going to get that filtered now, and then I will add some tallow to thicken up that ointment. Now you could use tallow as I'm using, you could use beeswax, you could even use like a vegan alternative like a shea butter, anything that's going to be a nice thicker consistency to help solidify this ointment just a little bit so it's not a completely liquid oil when it's finished. So this tallow is a tallow that I rendered down about a year ago, and so I just shaved some tallow up so I can melt that easily in with the oil once I get that filtered out with all the herbs. Alrighty friends, so I filtered out the oil. There's no more herbs in it. I did a 2 filter system. I did a mesh strainer and then I did a fine mesh strainer. You could use cheesecloth or a coffee filter or just any old piece of discarded clothing or a dish rag if you want, just to make sure that all of the bits and pieces from the herbs are removed, just because that could be a little bit uncomfortable. If you are smearing that into a cut or a burn, you definitely want to make sure all of those dried herbs are out. This is that tallow that I shaped up. I'm going to melt this tallow, and then I'll mix in the oil. Okay, everyone, so this feels like a good place to interject and just say that although I am technically a medical professional, I am not operating in that role for the purposes of this video. Therefore, nothing that you see in this video should be construed as medical advice, and I do suggest that everybody do their own research. I am not a trained herbalist, and so take this information with a grain of salt, do your own research, and make your own decisions that are right for your family. Because although I am using this and I'm very comfortable using this balm for minor burns, scrapes, cuts, bruises, etc., I would hate to recommend somebody else do that and then have a poor outcome like an allergic reaction or interaction with other medications or what have you. So talk to your doctor, do your own research, and go from there. Alrighty, friends, and this is our final product. It's in these cute little jelly jars, and it has fully come to room temperature. It's cooled off and solidified to some degree. So let's take a peek and check this out. Great, so I'm actually really happy with this texture. You can see that it is not completely liquid, but it is very spreadable and very liquidy. So I'm pretty happy with that texture. If you want something thicker, you can add more tallow or beeswax. If you want it to be thinner, you'd of course use less, but for this particular balm, I'm pretty happy with this texture. There you go. So there it is, friends, a very simple, easy, straightforward method for making your own balms and salves at home. Like I said, do your own research, get creative with which herbs you want to use in your kitchen, and thank you very much for following along with me today. I'll see you in the next one.